It is 2nd of March 2019, 7:37 in the evening, and we are going to try soldering again. Let's see how this reads. Yeah, it doesn't read bad. Okay, so we'll move over. It's kind of centered, I guess. Yep. Move it over there. Good. Okay. We have soldering iron is not quite hot enough. So we are tinning the. I should go get some glasses so I can see what I'm doing without sticking my face 2 inches away from it. Okay, so we're going to tin the area. Now, that's a little blob of solder. The next one I was going to try was these two over here. Okay, that is not cool. We have a bridge between a pin. Okay, that makes me think that I should choose a different location. So this location is the location that I had chosen. That's where we bridged. I think I might still use that one. But I'm going to scrape off the coating over here around the corner. Okay, and we'll see if that works a little bit better. So we're heating this side up. Okay, and then over here, we've got a blob of solder, but the blob of solder isn't at the end. So if you look here, there's a blob of solder right here, and that's got good contact with the soldering iron. So we're going to use that to heat up copper trace. And then we're going to put some solder on it, and then we got a little bubble of solder nicely connected. Over here, we're again going to scrape off the solder. You see a little bit dripping there. That's not exactly nice, but I'm going to use it. Actually, it's kind of in the way now. So we'll get that off. So you got a little bit of solder there. We're going to set that on top of the trays. Warm it up a little bit. Put some flux, and then we got a little bump there. So that's what we're going to connect to, or at least what we're going to try and connect to. And then the next thing that we're connecting to is this little. No, we did that one, and we're doing this one. We're going to hook that up, warm that up, and see if no, didn't make it. Okay, again, shape the end of the solder. Get it all nice and connected there. Here we have this little ball solder. We're going to set it on top. We've done that one. We're going to set it on top of. Actually, no, it looks like we already got that one okay. Yeah, that one's okay. So I'm going to put a teeny bit of solder on the end here. We're going to put it down here. It's not very wide. Well, so that's our two connections. We have one connection here and one connection there. I have to clean this one up here because it bridged across. That is uncool, totally uncool. I should be actually using a little bit of solder braid to take that off. Okay, so those are the easiest ones. They're easy because there's not as much stuff around them. This one is the easiest of the ones that are left. And we got there and there, which is kind of in the middle. It is not perhaps perfect, but this one is going to be the toughest one. It's tough because it's tight. It's already beside an existing one of the things that I've tried to get to. So it's not fun. So let's try this one. I'll put a little bit on solder, set it on top, warm it up a little bit. This area is actually quite large for a trace, so we'll take a little bit of heat. There's a little divot there that I can touch with my tinned wire, and hopefully it will adhere properly. This is the next one, and it looks like I was not making contact. I was actually making contact with a pin on a nearby chip. Okay, so that's not bad. That's a nice little line. Again, we're making contact, warming it up, and then we give it a little bit of flux, and kind of put a little dab of solder on top of it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember that one being that big. Ooh, that's just ugly. Okay, I messed that up. So we are going to use the soldering gun to warm that up, and then we're going to take it off. I don't have any tape here, so yeah. Get the solder to move onto the soldering gun, and then wipe it off on our wet sponge. Anyway, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this last one. So we got a nice sharp piece of solder, nice focused piece of solder, making good connection with the copper on the trace. Got some goop on the end of my solder here. Let's see, did it show up? Oh, A little bit more. That one's not very good. I wouldn't say that's very much of a lump. So, let's see if I can help that along a little bit. That didn't even make contact. Okay, that's a little bit of a mound. So, I'm sure this is just exciting. So we get our connector, and we are checking where we're starting. So, the furthest one out is D4, and that was starting on pin 3. So, luckily I have a second one of these little units. I'm not sure if I've got enough room for all of this stuff to be. I may end up taking the that's not tall enough. I need to find something to set it on. Like a book or something. So if we set this up a little bit and remove this as high as it goes, just go like that. That's not expecting that to resist so much. Oh, I see. It's actually got a divot. No, we're not holding too much weight. Shouldn't be that big a deal. So we're trying to get this wire in position to solder onto there. Yeah, we're going to disconnect the red and the black because I can't make all of this stuff work when we are so close and so restricted. Okay, so now that I can take this and move it out of the way, I've got to wonder if I should start from the other side and then just work this way. Is that on camera? Yep, it is. It's not in the middle of the camera. Well, I wonder if I should just move it like this, because I don't need it that far away from me. So, tip is looking pretty good. So if I'm starting from the other side, that would be D11, this guy. And he is going to the right input, which is this guy way over here. And I'm going to bend that, get it into this. And okay, so that's going to bend down a little bit. All right. So I'm sure you can't see any of this. What I'm doing is I'm using the soldering iron to push the wire down. It's heating it up. I'm going to add a blob of solder. Okay. It looks like it connected. Wait for a bit. Disconnect from it. And it looks like it connected. Although that has to be one of the sorriest excuses for a solder joint I think I've ever seen. We are going to try that again. Rotate this a little bit. Try and get this part of the wire to go down a little bit. There. Okay, it flexed back up and away, which wasn't very nice of it. And looks like I kind of messed up my my connection there. So I'm going to rearrange this. So I'm looking through my magnifying glass. I'll rotate this around so that it is connecting that the way it should. I need a little pair of pliers to straighten this out. Okay, so I don't know how to keep that out of the way, but going like that. Somehow I have to get the hot iron in the middle of that. A little bit of solder on it. Okay, that's how it was supposed to work. Let's take a peek. Actually, I think that looks pretty good. The only negative thing is that there's too much exposed wire right now. So it looks like I stripped too much wire. Disconnect that. And then take this out of the way. I will snip some of the wire off. Because the direction that it's going is going to be very close. It's going to end up being very close to the next wire beside it. And I don't want to cause a short. The other thing that I don't know what to do with is that's just in the way. If it hangs to the side, it's in the way for getting it over top of the board. Let's see if I have another spool of wire. Okay, let's see how close that is. That is not real close, but okay. We're gonna get, we're gonna get this guy. You know, should probably go this way. And that way. Okay, let's see if I can get a little dab of solder in there. Warm up this little wire. No, looks okay. I guess I need to get this thing off. And there we go. All right, I'm going to shut the video off here. And then see if I can get a decent picture. Would you believe the camera can't record for more than like 30 minutes?